husband walked into the hospital with his pregnant girl.
So good evening. Yeah, I am awake. I think I've found the trick on how I'll be going around this issue of time differences and feeling tired. So I'll be doing the program every other day. So today, which is Wednesday, 20 hours in Zambia, I'm doing this program, but tomorrow Thursday, I will not do it. I'll come and do it on Friday. So I'll be doing it every other day, and then I'll come and skip again. I'll skip Saturday and Sunday unless otherwise. I'll come and talk again on Sunday. Yeah, going into Monday. Yeah, so I'll be skipping every other day. Every other day I'll be skipping a day. I will be having a program every other day. So ati ubushiku bufuile nsofu nedi ashiri bako dia nsofu. Ubushiku bufuile nsofu nedi ashiri bako dia nsofu. Today we have GBM jailed for 5 years, and I'm sure, of course, we have got different opinions about all these things. I'm sure some of you, a praise singer, you are celebrating. You are even saying no. HH is not the magistrate, is not the police, whatever. So it looks like the jailing of the convicting and sentencing of GBM looks justified to some of you. But I say no. From my point of view, I say no. I say that this is all retribution. This is all about fixing the opponents of Hakainde Hichilema. And all those that stood in his way to become president, all those that turned against him, we are still being fixed. We are still being fixed. And he's going to fix us. He's going to fix us. A number of you are going in jail. You will go in jail. You will lose your properties. And these are some of the things that I used to speak about before Hakainde Hichilema went into power. And even after he went into power, I was talking about some of these things. Of course, I did support Hakainde Hichilema in the 2021 general elections. Some of you, to my young people, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. I played a very big role in Hakainde Hichilema being in State House today. I played a very big role in Hakainde Hichilema being in State House. I contributed bigly. I contributed bigly to have Hakainde Hichilema in State House. You don't know. You just don't know. But I'm telling you, I did contribute big time. I did contribute big time to have Hakainde Hichilema in State House. Of course, I was hoping that, after being in opposition for such a long time, the man will be different. But unfortunately, no, he's not different. But anyway, mostly why GBM is also behaving, why Hakainde Hichilema is behaving the way he is doing. It is because he has failed. He is threatened. You know, a snake in itself, just a snake as a snake, it is not dangerous, trust me. A snake in its just itself is not dangerous. A snake is dangerous when it feels threatened. A snake is dangerous when it feels threatened. And this is the situation. Hakainde Hichilema feels threatened. He feels his power is losing it. He's losing it. And now is going out like a cobra, striking anyone that he or she, that he thinks that, they are standing in his way, or they are contributing to him, being at the risk of losing power. But I say this, it is not the individuals, it's not us who are risking Hakainde Hichilema's power. It is in himself. Yeah, these people. It is in himself. It is himself who is risking, losing power. And he's gonna lose power whether he intimidates us, whether he fixes us. He will lose power sooner than what's the problem? Some of these people. When you block, when you say, no, I don't want to talk now, you stop. But they will keep calling. So, Hakainde Hichilema, it's himself who is risking his power. How is he risking his power? He's risking his power by failing to deliver on the things that he promised. That's all. That's all. We are not a threat. I am not a threat to Hakainde Hichilema. I'm not a threat, though I'm perceived as a threat number one. Enemy number one. Chilufya Tayali. I'm perceived like that. But I am not a threat myself. I am simply helping Hakainde Hichilema. If I told he was a person that knows leadership, he would have appreciated me by the fact that I am pointing out some of the things that he has failed to do, some of the things that he could do better. And if Hakainde Hichilema was not a bitter person, was not an emotional person, some of us would have been working with him to help him in some of these situations, because let's face it, it's not that everything is okay. World over, we have economic challenges, world over. So some of these things really, in all honesty, they are not purely dependent on Hakainde Hichilema. They are not as a result of Hakainde Hichilema. However, Hakainde Hichilema has exacerbated the situation because of his bad policies. Because of his bad policies. And of course, his bitterness. Where he could get help, unfortunately, Hakainde Hichilema is not utilizing those opportunities to get that help. Instead, for him, he wants to behave as he knows it all. And all he wants are praises, that's all. For you to survive in Hakainde Hichilema's government, you have to be a praise singer. All those of you who are not praise singers, you are in problems. All those of you who are not praise singers, you are in problems. And many of you will go in. I know some people are saying, hey, next it is you, next it is you. Ineta mwakambone. Ineta mwakambone, tamwakambone, tamwakambone. I saw it coming that, tafili wino if. And thank God, let me not forget also to appreciate, some of the people that helped me, that came in. Who helped me, I am very grateful, because in a Panondelanda, I'm sure I would have been in. I would have been in. So why am I not? Because a lot of you want to think that this is a fight against corruption. GBM has gone in because of his corruption act. The problem to akwata mu Zambia, the problem that we have in Zambia, most of us, we are lazy in, trying to analyze issues. We are too basic. We are too apparent. Just what you are seeing. It's only today. What is happening today? That's it. That is it. For many Zambians, it's only what is happening today. You don't want to go, a little bit deeper to understand how did this come about? Where did it start from? You don't want that. You don't want that. Many of you today, you have seen GBM, being incarcerated. I don't know how many of you have tried to interrogate this case. Where is it coming from? How did it start? Many of you haven't. Many of you haven't. And many of you have short memories. I'm telling you that the jailing of GBM, this jailing of GBM, lelo, ukaka GBM, it is not about GBM being involved in corruption, no. And I'm not saying this because GBM is supporting, he was in PF, or GBM is somebody on Ariamo. It's not about that. We have got other cases as well. We have got other cases. We have got the cases of Chitotela. We have got the cases of Kampyongo. We have got the cases of JJ Banda. We have got other cases which are still coming, which are in the pipeline, which many of them will end up in the GBM, Chitotela, Nixon Chilangwa's situation. Many of them, because Hakainde Hichilema really wants to eliminate all potential challenges, all potential political risks. He wants to eliminate them. He wants to eliminate everyone that he thinks this one, such that he can remain alone. That's what Hakainde Hichilema wants. This case of GBM is nothing about fighting corruption. Because really, if you are fighting corruption, look, during the time of other presidents, we used to have people that were in government being interrogated by the investigative wings. We used to have people that were in government going Kuma court defending themselves. We used to have that. But since Hakainde Hichilema came into power, I mean, those that are close to him are protected. And mostly they are protected because many of these people who engage themselves in corruption, they do it on behalf of Hakainde Hichilema. So, Hakainde Hichilema finds it difficult to, at Interpol is watching. Interpol is watching, yes. Interpol is watching, and I'm in a country which is the headquarters of Interpol, if you must know. Headquarters of Interpol, that's where I am. The headquarters of Interpol is in this country. And I've even been there. I've even been there. Let me tell you, I've even been there to that Interpol headquarters. I've been cleared myself by the international community. They have seen that my cases are all politically motivated. So stop wasting your time commenting at Interpol is watching. There is no Interpol that is going to bring you, that is going to bring me into the country. Me, I'm a recognized, you must know, recognized asylum seeker. I am a recognized asylum seeker. I'm a refugee, as it were. So, mule Chilufya, not my cases to anyone thinking that whatever. So, the point I'm trying to tell you is that GBM's case is not an issue of fighting corruption. Because if Hakainde Hichilema was fighting corruption, there are a number of cases that we would have seen, some of these people being arrested, which are very clear. Unfortunately, some of these cases, they involve Hakainde Hichilema himself as well. They involve Hakainde Hichilema himself. I can give you examples of some of these cases. One of the cases is that very KCM that you're talking about. There is corruption there. You can talk about Mupane. There is corruption there. You can move away. You can move to the dual carriageway, Ndola dual carriageway, Ndola Lusaka dual carriageway. There is corruption there. Where you can go to the selling of Zambif, buying Zambif farm, there is corruption there. The former MTN building, there is corruption there. A supply of fertilizer, all the years that you can talk about, there is corruption there. Supply of fuel, there is corruption there. There is corruption in many institutions. Many institutions. Unfortunately, we are not seeing these people being arrested. We are not seeing them. In the mines, in the mining, Ministry of Mines, there is corruption there. But we are not seeing people being arrested. But this case of GBM and other cases, because, by the way, this is the first case where you can say somebody has been convicted according to the job that they were doing. This is the first case. This one is the first case where somebody has been convicted relating to the work that he was doing, relating, so to say, in corruption. This case, it is the first case. All these other cases that you talk about, there is no corruption. All these other cases that Vena Kampiongo, Banani, there is no corruption. This is the first case. But let's go back and look at this case where it started from, because some of you are not good at going back to analyze these issues. This issue, if you remember, this issue started during the time of SATA. Some of you, do you remember when Winter Kavimba and the GBM, they were fighting? They were jealous of each other. Winter Kavimba and GBM, they were jealous of each other. By that time, GBM was the defense minister. But Winter Kavimba was the Secretary General and the Minister of Justice, I think, at that point. Yes, Minister of Justice. And they were fighting because they were jealous of each other. GBM was close to Basata, Winter Kavimba, actually the one who started this thing, Winter Kavimba is the one who started. But Winter Kavimba is the one that started. Because Winter Kavimba was Secretary General, and they didn't like, he didn't seemingly like, the access of GBM Kuribasata. He didn't like it. Okay? And GBM at that moment was gravitating towards the Sosala, the current Chief Chitimukulu. By that time, Chief Chitimukulu was being denied to be installed as Chief Chitimukulu by Basata. Okay? And GBM was gravitating towards had a soft spot for Chitimukulu. And I don't know Chitimukulu how he's going to behave on this instance anyway. I don't know, because I remember GBM really standing for Chitimukulu in very difficult situation. GBM was the only, GBM risked his relationship with Basata, in support of Basosala, the current Chitimukulu. What has happened to my TikTok? My TikTok went off. I need it, so. So GBM started, he was supporting Basosala, and he risked that relationship that he had, a very good relationship between himself and Basata. And Winter Kavimba wanted to, took advantage of that situation, wanting to become, a goody-good to Basata. And he lashed out on the GBM. wanting what GBM to be fixed, wanting what GBM to be fired as defense minister. So they started fighting between them. It is out of those fights that we heard of these cases that GBM has been convicted on. It is those time, and we are talking about cases. These cases we're talking about 11 years ago. 11 years ago, because these cases started happening. They were happening in 2013. 2013, early 2013. That's when these cases started. It was a fight. It is as the result of a fight between Winter Kavimba and GBM. And today, GBM has been convicted of those cases. So during the time when they were fighting, they started revealing themselves. But Winter Kavimba is the one who started, accused GBM of these cases that GBM has been convicted on. And the GBM in response also counterreacted and accused Winter Kavimba of being involved in a deal where Transfigura was awarded a contract. Transfigura was awarded a contract by the Zambian government to supply petrol and diesel worth $500 million. Worth $500 million. Whilst Winter Kavimba was pointing at GBM, GBM has awarded himself contracts, Kuzesku and whatever. GBM was also accusing Winter Kavimba to have influenced the contract of Transfigura worth $500 million. This is where it started, 2013. 2013, that's where it started. And what happened? Both GBM and Winter Kavimba, they were called to Anti-Corruption Commission. Both of them. If you remember, Winter Kavimba, when he went to Anti-Corruption Commission, he went with hooligans. He went with a horde of cadres, and they besieged the Anti-Corruption Commission. But Winter Kavimba could not be interviewed by the Anti-Corruption Commission because of the people that he went with. I think it was who was in charge that time. That there was a lady, I remember that lady. She's now part of the board. He couldn't be interviewed. It was hot those days. It was hot. They went and besieged the whole Anti-Corruption Commission there because Winter Kavimba, didn't want to be interviewed. He didn't want to be interviewed. But GBM went quietly. Now, here is a difference. When these allegations came up, that time it was Sata who was president. We saw these two ministers going to Anti-Corruption Commission. This, I'm telling you, the differences. We saw these two ministers going to Anti-Corruption Commission. And they were interviewed. And here is something. They were interviewed, and at the end of the day, these two were actually cleared. Winter Kavimba and the GBM, they were cleared by the Anti-Corruption Commission at that time, 2013 itself. 2013, I think the case started around February, and then around November, somewhere there. Anyway, after some time, they were cleared by Anti-Corruption Commission. Some of you may not know these things, and that's why I'm giving you a background of where these things started. Because I've told you that this is retribution. It's not about fighting corruption. And I'm giving you this background so that you understand. From 2013, two ministers accusing each other, caught by Anti-Corruption Commission, and Anti-Corruption Commission cleared them. Anti-Corruption Commission cleared them. These cases where GBM has been convicted today, Anti-Corruption Commission cleared them. They even wrote to President Sata because Sata told them, investigate these people. Okay? Investigate these people. Of course, he was upset. He was upset because when they started investigating these ministers, they didn't ask Sata. They just he started investigating them. And Sata, if you remember, there was a time when he was swearing in some people. He came and blasted them. Why are you investigating my ministers without telling me? But as he said that outside, behind, Sata wrote to the Anti-Corruption Commission to say, can you investigate this and let me know of the results? You see, he came out in public because these were his friends. So he came out in public. Hey, why are you investigating? Why are you embarrassing me? You are whatever. Because I think he was just playing politics. Because behind, Sata wrote a letter to Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate these buggers. And they were investigated. And after they were investigated, the conclusions, the investigation, they concluded. And they wrote to Sata to clear them. And Sata again came out to say, Anti-Corruption has cleared them. So this is the difference. This is the difference. We are not seeing this kind of thing. Sata wrote, can you investigate these people? Afterwards, they investigated and they reported back. And I remember the biggest issue, Kuli GBM, was the fact that, yes, he awarded his company contract, but did he declare? And they found that actually he did declare. The Anti-Corruption Commission came out to say, GBM declared interest in the awarding of contracts. And, well, he was cleared. That is the issue. So this issue that we are talking about today, GBM was cleared back then. And you can't say no because PF was in power. No, because the president himself wrote to the Anti-Corruption Commission to say, hello, can you give me a report on these people? And I'm very sure if the Anti-Corruption Commission had found a case, they would have recommended to say, these people, whatever, and Sata would have fired them. Would have fired them. You remember, can you remember Chitotela? Chitotela was fired by Sata. Chitotela was fired by Sata. So Sata was not tolerating, and Chitotela was also very close to Sata. But he was fired. When he bought, some ambulances, which they said, they were new, but they were second-hand and whatever, and Chitotela was fired. As a result, because Sata again wrote, can you investigate this man? When they investigated and they said, no, these vehicles they bought, they were not new. I think ma ambulances or ma grader, whatever. Anyway, he was fired. I'm mentioning that just to tell you that Sata was not favoring people. These are people that were fighting corruption for real, not the nonsense that we are seeing with Hakainde Hichilema. So GBM and Winter Kabimba, they were spared. They were cleared. And that is how GBM continued. And later on, he came and resigned over the issue of Sosala. GBM was not fired. He resigned over the issue of Sosala because he was supporting Sosala. He was supporting Chitimukuru. And this is why I'm saying, I don't know what Chitimukuru is going to do now and what he's going to say. Because here is a man that, lost it all, to stand with him. Anyway, from there, this is 2013. GBM, after Vasatavafwa, 2014 Vasatavafwa, GBM, having had resigned from PF, tried Edgar Lungu tried to reconcile with him. He refused, and he joined UPND and became vice president. So this is 2013. In 2014, 2015, 2014 itself anyway, 2014, GBM joined UPND and became the vice president. So if you are talking about corruption, if really this Hakainde Hichilema has been standing, has been standing tall in fighting against corruption, this case happened in 2013. Why did Hakainde Hichilema come and appoint GBM as vice president? He appointed him as vice president, and they ran the 2015 presidential by-elections as running mates. He ran as a running mate, GBM. Okay? He ran as a running mate. And at that time, because you remember, GBM now is in UPND. Though the PF, they were busy now attacking GBM, and Hakainde Hichilema was busy defending GBM. He was busy defending GBM on everything. But UPND, Mova praise singer today, who are celebrating that GBM has been incarcerated or has been convicted, you were busy defending GBM. By UPND, you accuse us, you may accuse us, whatever. By UPND, you ate more money of GBM than the PF. GBM went and poured all his money in UPND. GBM lost his money in UPND. He went out all. He went out all. A lot of you by UPND, you were even happy with you were even happier with the GBM than with Hakainde Hichilema, because GBM was giving whilst the HH was not giving. GBM grew support in UPND. GBM grew support in throughout the country, by the way. But mostly GBM took UPND to the northern part. Hakainde Hichilema, for him to have a rally, it was during the time of GBM. That's when he went and had the first rally, where he was saying, because GBM really organized the northern part. GBM today, Hakainde Hichilema would not be in State House today had it not been for GBM. If you are talking about proceed of crime, GBM ni mwewe wa UPND. Proceed of crime, if it is proceed of crime, ni wewe Hakainde Hichilema. Because GBM, whatever money that he made in the business, he poured it in UPND. He poured it in UPND. Avena Mucherek, you are there, Mucherek. You were with GBM. You are the people that were working with GBM. You worked so hard with GBM. And all that, there was no issue of corruption. There was no issue of corruption. And indeed, let's imagine if UPND had won that election. If UPND had won that election, do you think GBM would be in prison today? If UPND had won that election, do you think GBM would be in prison today? No. Do you think Himova praise singers who are now celebrating that GBM is inside there, do you think you would be saying what you are saying today? And let's just imagine if GBM did not move back to PF. If he didn't move back, do you think GBM would be in prison today? The answer is no. GBM is being fixed because actually GBM almost took over UPND because a lot of people liked GBM. And Hakainde Hichilema felt threatened. He felt threatened and he organized a coup. He organized a coup to remove GBM. That central committee that went and voted against GBM. They kicked out GBM. Hakainde Hichilema kicked out GBM from UPND because GBM was becoming more popular, more liked because he was alikweta GBM takwatakaso. GBM takwatakaso. And Hakainde Hichilema felt threatened. That's how GBM was removed. What did GBM do in UPND for you to organize that coup in that central committee which voted against him? What did he do? What case did he do? Nothing. It is all because Hakainde Hichilema was threatened. And that's how he kicked him out. And when he kicked him out, GBM, that's when GBM went back now. In Shabwela, he went back to PF. And from that time on, Hakainde Hichilema has been bitter against GBM. And he has been looking for an opportunity to fix him. And this is the time GBM has been fixed. And he has been fixed on what? He has been fixed on charges on which he was cleared by the Anti-Corruption Commission. Tapali ife akwati mulande finisha, but Tapali GBM has just been fixed because Hakainde Hichilema wanted him to fix it. And you must know, this case was determined not by the courts. It was determined a long time ago. Some of the evidence, the court could not even take it. There were letters that were written by SATA to say, no, he has been cleared by whatever. Some of these evidence could not be admitted. The case was flouted. And today, you can all check. The time that they were announcing, they were sentencing GBM to 5 years, I had already posted that GBM was going in for 5 years. We had already known that GBM was going in for 5 years. People were busy calling me, hey, but the case, whatever. I didn't pull it down. You can check the time that the magistrate rendered his sentence. You can check the time, and you can check the time that I posted. Because we knew, we had information that State House had wanted him to go for 5 years. Just like they wanted 5 years for me. They wanted 5 years for me. There was a 5 years on my head. They wanted 5 years. They wanted me inside until after the 2026 general elections. That's what they wanted. And even with GBM, they said GBM has to go in 5 years. Is to make sure that GBM is out of the way for 2026 general elections, and GBM doesn't have, any money, doesn't bring in any money. As you could see that GBM could not be allowed to go out of the country because they know that GBM had moved his businesses outside the country. So they were blocking GBM to go out so that he doesn't access his money. And even this time around, Hakainde Hichilema is scared of GBM. He knows the political strength that GBM has. GBM has political strength. Even during the time of Basata, GBM did so much. GBM is a political giant and of course a financial giant. And that has been a threat on Hakainde Hichilema. And from the time that they separated, Hakainde Hichilema made sure he has been looking for an opportunity to fix GBM. So you can say whatever you want. This is not an issue of corruption. This is about Hakainde Hichilema fixing GBM. And clearly, like I've told you, this case started in 2013. Why did Hakainde Hichilema appoint GBM to be vice president? Okay, if there was an issue of corruption. Yes, you can come and say no, but he's not an investigator. Whatever. GBM was arrested in 2022, by the way. He's one of the first people to be arrested. If you follow, GBM is one of the first people to be arrested. Hakainde Hichilema came into power in 2021. 2021, towards the end, August, September. 2022, GBM was arrested. Because I saw some of you people were saying, no, but this case started in PF. GBM was arrested in 2022, together with his nephew. Firstly, they charged them together. Then they separated them. The nephew was convicted. After the nephew was convicted, now he's on bond. I think he was charged about 150 or something, 150,000, I think. bail pending whatever. So he is out, but he was convicted. And now today, GBM. So this is the story. The whole story is nothing but, somebody fixing GBM, fixing his opponents. And he's fixing his opponents. He's fixing them. Look at the case of Kampyongo. How do you explain the case of Kampyongo? I mean, the poor wife, she's inside today. But really, the source of the money or whatever she owns was Kampyongo. But somehow, they know that there are no cases here, but they had to fix Kampyongo in a way. Look at Abena Chitotela and Chilangwa. I mean, you can talk about political violence. Come on. Political violence, you're talking about political violence. No, they damage the vehicle and whatever. We have got people that killed a person like Kungo in broad daylight. Broad daylight, Kungo was killed. We have got people that were beaten in Southern Province. You remember where they were beating people indiscriminately in Southern Province? Soldiers had to go there to protect people. So, when you talk about this, I'm not saying that I'm justifying, violence is violence. But really, when it is okay with Hakainde Hichilema, when you are okay with Hakainde Hichilema, you are unblemished. You are unblemished. But when you are against Hakainde Hichilema, it doesn't matter how clean you may be. It doesn't matter how clean you may be like me. Because me, I'm a clean guy. You don't hear me in all this nonsense. You don't. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They will charge you for speaking the truth on social media. They will charge you for it. It is about fixing anyone that is perceived to be, threatening, to be a threat to Hakainde Hichilema. Anyone who is seen to be a threat to Hakainde Hichilema, you are only spared if you are a praise singer. Vawinta Kavimba, that's why Vawinta Kavimba, I don't talk too much about Vawinta Kavimba. This case that has seen GBM inside, it is as good as his case of influencing a contract here 500 million to Transfigura. Because how do you explain it? They accused each other. GBM accused Vawinta. Vawinta accused GBM. Today GBM has gone in. Why is Vawinta outside? Because as far as I'm concerned, really, Vawinta should also be followed on that one. If it is going by the same standard. Because Transfigura, yes, for real, Transfigura was awarded the contract by whatever. And I'm one of those people that used to speak about this issue. There was also even a PF company that was formed by Vawinta to be supplying fuel. So if you look at whatever, but Vawinta, because he has seen that Tafiremoneka win. So sometimes when you are seeing people like Vawinta talking, trying to justify Hakainde Hichilema, you should understand them. Because if they don't do that, if Vawinta doesn't do that, he would face the same fate of a GBM. For you to survive, you need to go to Hakainde Hichilema. Even if Frank Wadia, you can find from nowhere he can be fixed. So the only way to survive is to go this side. Unfortunately, some of these people, they are too crooked, like Kelvin Gwadia Sampa is too crooked. But otherwise, Kelvin Sampa, imagine Kelvin Sampa if he had also not jumped. He would have gone, because this man, Kelvin Sampa, has been a crook from a long time. He would have been in a long, very, very, very early. So this is the situation. It's all about fixing. Look at the Chitotela. Look at Chitotela. Look at Chilangwa. Look at the, what is this guy? JJ Banda. Surely, my brothers and sisters, even if you are praise singers, you can clearly see these issues. But I can tell you that all these cases that you are dealing with, they are nothing compared to the corruption that is currently going on. They are nothing compared to the corruption that is currently going on. And how I wish we Zambians could be more focused on talking about this corruption which is currently going on. But we get excited, we get distracted by pettiness of 15 flats, Yava Lungu. We get excited. But really, compare that 15 flats, compare it losing Mopani to people that you don't even know. We have lost Mopani as an asset. We Zambians have lost it. What have we gotten out of it? Look at KCM. Look at the dual carriageway. Look at the toll gates. Look at the toll gates. The toll gates that were not built by Hakainde Hichilema, they have been given in private hands. All corruption. All corruption. And you praise singer, you want to praise Hakainde Hichilema. What is Hakainde Hichilema doing apart from taking advantage of our country? They are stealing from our country. They are taking our assets. It is really, really sad. And today, you want to celebrate GBM's arrest, GBM's conviction. It is all about fixing. GBM made a mistake. And you see, this is one of the things, you know, a lot of us went to GB, to Hakainde Hichilema, and we sang praises. I remember about GBM, the way I was arguing about Hakainde Hichilema. GBM. I used to argue with GBM over Sata. Because what I say outside, even in private, I'll tell you. But GBM, I mean, he's my brother. And I've benefited a lot from GBM. At one point, where GBM put me on a kasaradi, three pin valempera every month by GBM. So I have so much respect with GBM. But munganda mumwago mdara ninjifika munganda mumwago na leva tarika pali Hakainde Hichilema. Na leva tarika. And we would argue munganda mumyago. Even in his office, I would go to his office mdara ninja office kuma, but still more I would argue with him. And he would tell me. And you all know, at one point he even had to insult me over it. You remember the video that I posted. GBM is passionate. GBM has contributed heavily to Hakainde Hichilema's presidency. He has contributed heavily. He was so passionate. He did everything. Even, you know, insulting a friend, his friend like me. I was a confident to have GBM. A confident to have GBM. But GBM, you know, and he's a very good man, but GBM. Very good man. And a very good leader for that matter. Because by GBM, I remember, even in my little whatever, my little corner, before he would make a decision, he would call me. He would call me. The wife would be my witness. He would call me. He would engage me. And Tolanda, he would call the wife. This is what Tayali says. What do you think? That is how a GBM was, but that is a leader, that is leadership, because he was humble like that. And so what I'm telling you, these are issues that I know I'm well informed about. He was passionate. This issue ndela ndati ndalama mdala alese ndama trunks ukuya ndalama kafumia ndalama. GBM Hakainde Hichilema was not giving GBM money to campaign. GBM spent more money on UPND than Hakainde Hichilema. I can assure you that. You talk about Hakainde Hichilema being rich, but I can tell you that if there is somebody who spent more money in UPND, is GBM. GBM abrokera ku UPND. Lero GBM muamukaka. Because according to Hakainde Hichilema, GBM is a threat. Efili pwapa. Not never about your corruption, nothing. It is about fixing GBM. And a number of them will be fixed. I know. And this is the modus operandi of Hakainde Hichilema. The modus operandi of Hakainde Hichilema is that anyone who threatens or who comes in his way of whatever he wants to do, for him is to fix. For him is to fix. I told you before, I said, very soon Toalata Mpokula Aluba. Very soon Toalata Mpokula Aluba. How many people have disappeared during the time of GBM? Some of these people, of course, you might not see really the connection very well. But today I'm telling you that this boy, waku National Airport Corporation, his death is suspicious. Don't just take it for granted that no, whatever what the police are saying. That is nonsense, I'm telling you. That boy, there is something, because that boy knew a lot about what was happening in that gold scam issue. He knew a lot, that boy. That boy was one of the key witnesses of what was happening. He didn't take him whatever, no, ya parking election, ya papa presidential, whatever. That boy knew about all these issues. He disappeared the next at no. A bottle of doom, whatever. The same thing that they wanted to do with the JJ Banda. When JJ Banda disappeared, boom, he left a note. This is the same thing that they have done with that boy. You need to be very, very careful. We need to be very, very careful. And even as we are going further, these disappearances and the people dying mysteriously will continue. People dying mysteriously will continue. You don't have to be in the way of Hakainde Hichilema. You don't have to be. The moment you are in the way, somewhere, somehow, you have to be fixed. Look at G. Johnson. Information in them, I don't bring out information. And a good example, Nipani case yakwa GBM. Na Chilanda inatweremka 5 years before tabara ruling and not because I was told that State House had instructed that GBM must go in for 5 years. I posted it. Some of you were saying, no, boom. It happened exactly. Because my information is accurate, Mdala. That's why I'm even here. That's why I'm even here. Even these people who are around here, I know there are people who are in this country wanting to fix me. I know already. It's the same thing I'm telling you, Paddy John Sangwa. John Sangwa, they were conniving to arrest him. I leaked it out so that Veshibe, and that's how you saw, some of you saw it playing around on social media. But I didn't post it on my page because I was not very sure and whatever. But at the end of the day, I have confirmed this evening that they want to arrest John Sangwa. They want to fix John Sangwa. HH is very upset by that that he had, podcast that he had. He's very upset because he clearly explained that yes, I was a lawyer who actually went to court to say Edgar Lungu is not eligible. I was a lawyer who went to court and argued that Edgar Lungu is not eligible. But unfortunately, the court, as it were, it is composed of human beings who can make mistakes, who can even be compromised. But once they pass a judgment, that judgment must stay. Even if the judgment is made in error, that judgment must be respected, especially a judgment that is done at the highest court, at a court of finality like the Concord. The case of Hakainde of Edgar Lungu was determined at the highest court, the Concord, a court of finality. It was decided. Whether that judgment was in error, as they were saying, or what, at Quishan, whether it was in error or whatever, the issue is that a judgment was passed. I see a number of UPND cadres, coming on this show, and some of them, there was even another guy who was texting me. No court decided that GBM, Hakainde Hichilema was, Edgar Lungu was eligible. No court. I don't know where you get that you praise singers. That is if no over zombie. Because you keep repeating this to say there is no court that declared that Edgar Lungu is eligible. I don't know where you get that. I don't know, because this case has been in court and it has been decided. We had that otious first of all. And when we had that otious and people said, no, what do you mean by otious? We have to go back until you pronounce yourselves. And the court pronounced itself. But you hear cadres shamelessly, stupidly so, phoning the program and saying, no, there is no, what nonsense is that? And so, John Chagwa came out and they said, I was the lawyer who went to court. And the court ruled to say, he is eligible. He's eligible. I didn't like it, but they made the judgment. They made the judgment. And since they made the judgment as a court of finality, we cannot go back now because Hakainde Hichilema is in power. We can't go back to say, can you rewrite the judgment? Because Hichilema, it's like what Hakainde Hichilema is doing is that I was not happy with the judgment that you gave when I was in opposition. So you need to undo. That is what Hakainde Hichilema is doing. I was not happy with the way you judged on this matter when I was in opposition. Now I'm president. Can you change it and give me a judgment that I wanted? That is what is happening. That is what is John Chagwa talking about here. Hakainde Hichilema is going back on the cases that he lost. He's going back because he's president. He's going back to have those judgments rewritten. That is what Hakainde Hichilema is doing. And that is what John Chagwa is doing. That is what John Chagwa has explained, that we cannot do that. Because when you do that, I mean, I will become president as well. Everything should be rewritten. Another one will become president. Everyone should be rewritten. So, where is the independence of the judiciary? Where is the independence of the judiciary? Where is the respect of our court, of our courts? If we are going to be doing that, where is the integrity of our courts? That is the argument of John Chagwa, which he wanted even to argue in court. And he was told, no, sit down. We don't need to hear you. Whatever you have written, which is not even necessary, we don't, because clearly the court, you could see that the court has been formed to go in that direction, to bar Edgar Chagwa. And John Chagwa is saying no. And because of that, Hakainde Hichilema wants John Chagwa arrested. Today in the morning, they were busy talking. They were busy consulting each other. What can we arrest him on? They want something that they can arrest John Chagwa on. And you will see. Just like foolish people are also conniving, trying to find a way of arresting Archbishop Alik Banda. Some fools on what? Over the weekend, they were conniving, trying to see how they can arrest the Alik Banda. Hakainde Hichilema has lost it. Hakainde Hichilema has lost it. And these people I'm talking about, if they want rescind, you will see them being arrested. You will see Alik Banda being called. And yet, really, I mean, what is it? What are they calling him for? This is Hakainde Hichilema. This is dictatorship. Ile kula. And you people don't realize it. Look at the way they are tinkering with the constitution. The way they are tinkering with the constitution to change the constitution is nothing but to strengthen the dictatorship of Hakainde Hichilema. That's what they are doing. They want to make sure they change the constitution such that it fits in Hakainde Hichilema's idealistic view of how a leader should be and how long he should stay in power. They want to change the electoral our electoral code of conduct, so that they can easily manipulate the elections. Zambians, I'm telling you, we are in for a big trouble. And you praise singers who think that no, you are safe. No shalimo akabamo. I can assure you, no shalimo akabamo. Instead of looking at economic issues, you are not. Look, people are still fighting for FRA. People have not been paid. Instead of Hakainde Hichilema concentrating on that, FRA has not paid people. Look, we are already in planting season. They haven't been paid. Fertilizer, farming inputs are not in the country. I mean, those bags, at 6 bags, you are going to give 40 people. What can that do? These are issues that we're supposed to be talking about. Issues of electricity, these are issues that we should be talking about. But Hakainde Hichilema is busy trying to strengthen his dictatorship. And some of you are supporting it. I'm opening phone lines. I'm giving you an opportunity, even you praise singers, to come and support Hakainde Hichilema, to support the nonsense of Hakainde Hichilema. I'm opening phone lines. So you can go in and give your contributions. Hey, no, Edgar Lungu. This is not about Edgar Lungu. This is not about Edgar Lungu. That eligibility case is not about Edgar Lungu. It is about the integrity of our courts. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Hello, number one.
Yes. Ataka Vangirire.
Nem escutei assim. Ndevasho kuchinkula vena Zambia na 40. Ati twachula pafula, Bali must go. Twachula pafula, Lakuna must go. Let's do the right thing. Mweba shakwata amareji, mweba fuiro kukwata, sendeni. Ama voters card sendeni. Bali must go. Wachula pafula. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Atari. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
My question to you is this right to defend criminals? When someone is convicted, this means that person has done something wrong. Now, is it right for you to defend the criminal?
Sorry, what are you talking about? I haven't heard you.
I'm saying, is it right for you to defend the criminals? When someone is convicted, this means that person has done something wrong. Now, is it right for you to start defending criminality?
Okay. So, in your conclusion, because we're talking about GBM here. So, today I've spoken about GBM. We're talking about GBM. So, according to you, GBM is a criminal. He has been because he has been convicted. That is your argument, isn't it?
All of the people who have been convicted, which means they have been found with a place to answer.
So now, you are saying no, the court has found him with a case, okay? But I can tell you that at the moment, our courts are very compromised. You may have faith in the courts because you don't have a case. But I can assure you, like I'm saying, that no shalimo akabamo. Very soon, you might have a case yourself or somebody close to you. And that is when you experience that at the moment, our courts are very compromised. It is not a situation whereby, like we used to say, I'll go to court and I'll argue my case. Na fichinja nomba. Fiali chinja. Some of us who have been there, we understand. So, and when you talk about GBM was cleared. He was cleared by the Anti-Corruption Commission 2013. 2013, he was cleared. How come today he has been found guilty? How come? So I'm not defending criminals. I am defending the corruption that is in our courts. I'm condemning the interference of our judicial system by Hakainde Hichilema, which is very clear, very, very clear. Hakainde Hichilema is determining how the cases should go, and that is what I'm condemning.
Yeah, the only thing I have seen with these PF guys, they are trying by all means to come back in power.
Is there anything wrong?
Yes, they are trying by all means to come back in power. They are determined to do anything to come back in power, or what it will not happen.
Okay, so
we Zambian people will not allow that.
Okay, listen. You are saying they are determined, and in other ways, you are implying that they are doing something wrong. Okay, tell me something that the PF are doing to come back into power, which is wrong. Tell me something. For example,
they are provoking the president.
For example, Edgar Lungu, what is he doing wrong to come back into power? For example.
Oh, Edgar Lungu? There is nothing wrong for Edgar Lungu to come in power if the court is going to declare him eligible to stand in 2026. There's nothing wrong.
Okay.
Let's just wait for that case to.
Okay. Which case Hakainde Hichilema has already decided, but let's put aside, you are saying they are provoking the president. How are they provoking the president? The PF, how are they provoking the president?
They are provoking the president.
How? Thank you, my brother. As it were, if it was in court, I would say, at no further questions. No further question. PF are doing everything. They're determined. They're provoking the president. How are they provoking the president? But anyway, it's a democracy. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Tayali.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. You're speaking to Brian. I'm calling from South Africa.
Yes, Brian. Thank you. How is South Africa? My second home country. You know, South Africa is my second home country. I've got a house. I've got a house and an item in South Africa. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I've been following you so closely. Yes, even in the days when you visit South Africa, I get updated by your daily shows and all that.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So, with what is happening, it's evident enough that Edgar Chagwa will be stopped by all means. Yes. But now my question is, should that happen, what would you advise the people? What would be the plan B? Who should they really vote for, or who should they really put their hopes or trust in? Because HH, of course, can never be trusted at this point.
A good question that you have asked me. And I want to tell you, I'm approaching this issue from a faith point of view. I'm approaching this issue from a faith point of view. Frankly speaking, I wouldn't say no, plan B. I haven't seen that plan B. I don't know about that plan B.
Okay.
The only thing that I know is that God himself, he knows about the people of Zambia. And we have been at these instances where we want to change the president. And sometimes we don't even know who is going to be. Even at the time of Kaunda, you know, in 1963, people were not sure who is going to be president. They were not sure.
Okay.
They were not. But God intervened and Kaunda came in. 1991,
Yes.
we wanted change. We wanted change 1991. Actually, not 1991, so to say. We can even go back to from 1998, 1999.
That's correct.
We wanted change. 1998, that's when we had elections. And in that election, because Kaunda was powerful, he manipulated the elections and he became president. He was voted in again. But people wanted change. 1991, we had that change. And that is when Chiluba came into power. If you were there, you would remember that Chiluba was not anywhere known to be the one who was going to be president. From there, 2001, Chiluba had to go after the third term. You remember?
I remember very well.
The third term, we didn't want Chiluba because Chiluba wanted to continue, but people said, no, we don't want to continue. But did we know who was coming? We were thinking Sata would be the president. Okay? Sata was the front runner, you remember? But who came?
I remember very well. Yes.
Who came? Somebody who came, it was a person who had retired and had even gone back to become a Jehovah's Witness. He's the one that became president. Okay? After he died, of course, Arabi was like more obvious because he was the vice president, he became president. So even at this point in time, what I'm telling Zambians through your question is that we definitely want change. And me, I know that change is going to come. And this change, except that it is God who is going to determine. We may be saying, Edgar Lungu. God might have his own plans, might have his own plans. So no matter what they are doing to Edgar Lungu, God has his own plans. And sometimes the very things that they are doing to Edgar Lungu, do you know that Edgar Lungu, the one who has made Edgar Lungu, is the Hakainde Hichilema? Have you realized that?
That's correct. That's correct.
A number of people who didn't like Edgar Lungu, today, they are sympathetic of Edgar Lungu. They are closer to Edgar Lungu. Edgar Lungu, wherever he's going, is drawing crowds. Why is he drawing those crowds? It is because of the way Hakainde Hichilema is treating Edgar Lungu, just like the way Edgar Lungu treated Hakainde Hichilema, and he sold Hakainde Hichilema. It's happening the same.
That's correct, yes.
The other way around. Edgar Lungu campaigned for HH. This time around, yes. HH is campaigning for Edgar Lungu.
For Edgar Lungu.
Even this case, look at the prominence, the international community. This case is being reported world over. This case is being reported world over. Who is causing it? It is Hakainde Hichilema.
HH, yes.
So, my brother, in simple terms, I'm saying, I may not have a solution, a clear solution, but I still stand at the moment. For me, my favorite at the moment is Edgar Chagwa. But if Hakainde Hichilema is so determined and he manages to bar Edgar Chagwa, I still believe that there will be change and somebody else is going to come in. Whoever that person is going to be, I don't know. That is my response, my brother.
Anyway, I've heard you. I think let's just wish all the best.
Indeed.
For Zambia, because as the way things are right now, everyone has been affected. It being the people are supporting UPNG themselves, they know it themselves that everything is totally in bad condition.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Stay well in South Africa. That is my home. I will visit soon.
No, we'll be expecting you. Thank you very much.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I'm quite now.
Yeah, I'm quite today shimpa mno. Shimpa Zambia. Okay, ine nkwata kofi I think ba GBM. You know, I'm a cases yakaba bwelera fye bwino cause Hello?
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 Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, ayamilandu baleta ama conflict of interest nefyashala. Nga mwalo leshafye file ekitika mu Zambia.
I've lost that one. Hello?
Mr. Tayali, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
Okay, I'm watching your live. And I'm grateful for the points that you're articulating. Yeah, but there are few issues I want to find out. First and foremost,
Move away from the other.
regarding the Republican president, I've never heard you say any positive.
No, there's a feedback. There's a feedback there, my brother. There's a feedback. I can't hear you properly. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Good I managed to get back.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Mina conflict of interest. Kwati ya ingisha ba GBM kati. Cause inefyo ndemuna ayama conflict of interest ba president waka ngabafuma fye pampando. Eika bakonka pantu nga mwamona ma contracts ayenjale pita. There is a direct
link. Yeah. Hello?
Hello? Yes. There is a direct invisible hand. Hand from the higher offices. Because mwamona fie kwati ati.
I don't know. Phone, this line keeps cutting. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Hello? Kalain kanti bambu kula kafianta. Hello?
Mr. Tayali.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Okay, thanks for the good work that you're doing. Yeah, and I like the way you are bringing up the issues. But there's one thing I want to find out, because in the name of fairness, I've never heard you discuss any positive thing about the president. You're always condemning him. To you, he's always doing the wrong thing. So really, don't you think there's one thing that you can say, at least the Republican president here has done, particularly where the fight against corruption is concerned? Yeah, so really, as your viewers, are we going to be listening every day about the negative things that the Republican president has done? Isn't there any single thing that you think here the Republican president has done?
Good question, my brother. Good question. And
yes.
Before I respond, maybe let me ask you, before I just respond, can you tell me something positive that yourself, if you would want to put across to the Zambian people, that this is a positive thing that Hakainde Hichilema has done? Before I respond,
I'll tell you two things. First and foremost, what 6 children. And the previous regime, I suffered where office is concerned. Because just to pick one child at school, I used to pay about 2,000 kwacha.
So you're talking about free education?
Now, fast forward, Yes, that's like one of the issues I'm addressing.
Okay.
Free education.
So you used to pay
And then, no,
about...
recently, let me quickly articulate the other thing.
No. I just
The
want
other day I
to...
went to the
I'm not
hospital.
refusing. I'm just so that you... I mean, we can emphasize the points. You are saying you used to pay
Yes.
about
So, number one is
2,000 to send a child to school.
number one is free education.
Sorry?
Like, number one is free education, like you stated. Then the second thing, yesterday I went to a government hospital, Tamara South Bay. I had a headache and stuff. So I was perturbed that they had all the medication, including vitamin C, they had amoxicillin, and other medication. A 6 week was not possible in the previous regime. So that's why I'm putting it to you that, you know, sometimes as much as we may want to condemn the president, we must be able to put forward the positives.
Okay.
That we're working.
Okay. Let me respond so that, I mean, because I want to take many people. You have made your point. Let me now respond to you. So, first of all,
my brother.
First of all, I want to tell you that I'm in opposition. I'm an opposition political party leader. And as an opposition political party leader, the nature of politics is that most of the times when the opposition is speaking, it is when there is something that is negative. Unfortunately, that is the nature of politics. So it is very rare that an opposition will come up and start praising, you know, the party in power. It is very rare. Me, I'm a politician. So, as a politician who is an opposition, I speak from the bias. And I'm being very honest with you. I speak from the bias of being a politician who is in opposition. Okay? So what is good...
So, in other words, this is all about defeat and politics.
It's politics. I'm doing politics.
You're not being realistic with the truth.
I'm doing politics, Buana. I'm doing politics. Listen to me. Let me respond to you.
Tayali, come on.
Now you are spoiling
you are
it.
in oblivion.
Listen. Now
we
you are spoiling
in oblivion, but be realistic with the truth.
Now, this is the problem. I mean, I want to engage you properly, but you want to argue with me. So, I will talk about this. I'll come back to it. But listen, if I want to engage you, let us be whatever. Let us not start arguing. Forget it. Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Maybe my contribution is we should just suspend in terms of politicians, okay? Because these guys will always have supporters, okay? If this politician who committed the wrong thing steps out of power and is being made accountable of the wrong, his supporters will think he's being persecuted, okay? And that other person, again, that will be made accountable of the wrongdoings. When they are being made accountable, their supporters will say they are being persecuted.
It's true.
Okay? So how do we balance that? How do we balance? I understand you guys, you play politics. But there are these people that can't see between...
Yeah. Very good, my
There
brother.
are people that can't see between the lines, and they will think whatever is being said, they can't separate between politics. I do understand I watch you most of the time.
Yeah.
You would make valid points. Sometimes I would know that, okay, he is being political.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, he's being political. I do understand that. Even when you say you move from here, from there, I don't know. You see, a guy has to survive. There is tomorrow. There is next year. Someone has to be strategic. Okay, but just for the betterment, for the future of Zambia, some points should be brought.
Agreed. I agree with you. Some people should, points objectively. Some points need to be brought in objectively. and truthfully, because sometimes we politicians, we also lie. So you are very right. For me, and that is what I struggle with, okay? I try to do politics, but at the same time, be objective. At the same time, be objective. And this is why, on some cases, you don't see me coming out talking about it. Some cases, I don't even touch them. You know, I don't even touch them.
Okay.
Because I know these people must be answerable. You will not see me talk. I'll be quiet. I don't want to give an example, because if I give an example, I would have already convicted some of these people. Okay? So some cases, I don't even talk about them. I just keep quiet. Usually, I talk where I see injustice. I see injustice. And like you have said that some of these people, they all, politicians all have supporters. So at any point, even when you are wrong, you find that your supporters will support you. But how do we draw the line? Where do we bring in the objectivity? This is where I have tried, for example, to give you a background of GBM's case, for example. I've given a background of GBM's case, where it started from and how it has ended up where it is. And my main issue, which nobody can argue with, GBM was investigated, sanctioned by the president back then. Investigate this man and give me a report. And the Anti-Corruption Commission came up with a report and cleared GBM. So, it is from that point of view that I'm talking. And I've made the next point is that if GBM was part of UPND, I don't think GBM would have been convicted of this case. If anything, UPND would have actually been defending GBM, just like they were defending GBM some time back. So that is my objectivity here. There is no politics.
So,
it's about the
so just allow me to come in a bit there. So should we say if he was cleared, was the president also in the background, you know, manipulating the results in his favor?
No, the president wanted.
That is a possibility also.
Well, it's possible. That is possible, of course. It is possible. It is possible. Just like it is possible now that the president would be in the background manipulating things to have him convicted. And I know that he was doing it because I knew that GBM was going to be convicted 5 years. I knew. How did I know? I knew because they were an hand-to-hand method. And those people that were behind gave me that information, just that I cannot disclose who they are. But I knew that GBM is going in 5 years. And the evidence is there. I posted that GBM has been convicted 5 years before the court even ruled and sentenced him. So
as a politician, just be with the ruling party. You can't afford to be in opposition.
Unfortunately, for you to survive in politics, you have to be the ruling party. That's why maybe even Bawinta Kavimba, he has gravitated this side. Because if Bawinta was also fighting, the case of Transfigura would have followed him. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Your phone is cutting. So be brief and speak quickly because your phone seems to be cutting.
The quick question, the quick response I'm going to give to the gentleman you were arguing, the one who was saying that you guys are always negative and everything. The best person who was negative was the current president.
Yeah.
I was even surprised when he said Kazungula. He condemned Kazungula. But funny enough, when he came into power, he was saying it's him who built Kazungula. You understand?
I like
when Edgar was ECA was in the core build, told those people in the core build.
Yeah, unfortunately, the phone has gone ahead. Hello?
Hello, President Mwabumbeni.
Yeah, I'm going to
wangu sana ifupa programu hii tatizo kuposa nshita kula lota ni tumkwena sana
First thing first, it's very unfortunate to the GBM that that conviction has come at a time that the president was in parliament and he talked about it, that more is coming, more arrest and jail is coming. And sometimes it has to program to have it one from sometimes they are compared to answer. Because other people come on this program, like the previous gentleman who said he went to the private clinic and found the Panadol, magnesium, vitamin C. Is that how he's thinking, or does he say in that? Or is fighting corruption. But you know the corruption that is going on. I took my child, they were paying 2,000. Ask him if he has taken the child where he was paying 2,000. Ask him if he has taken the free education about 1,000 to class.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's very disturbing when you hear people talk like that. Did you unfortunately watch one gentleman who classified this pressing as in 4 categories? You should listen to that man. He described pressing us in 4 categories. And now we should now categorize them accordingly. So that man who came, I think he belongs to category number 2.
No, I think let's leave that for now. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Bueno. Naivo turande po padi ngashira ba GBM nawe yisikino yakwe bati kubera abantu bamuna ati nga mwatasha baye chechi nishibalamye ufiro oluse nangu nishinga mwabana be ngalo chala abashani abantu abapala bali bati ba my job is simple ba Kelvin teni nawe bali mukakubira na bena batererani
bali na abaya bali
ba Kelvin samba
bali na abaya
so vera muna bosaba nangoma MPs bosaba PF abale muna tiyonga ba palamina na ba HH nishibala barekerera bakabengisha bakabapalamika sirafini boko babompya ko pinga bapusha zo kubabompya babengisha no kubengisha bantu ba GBM mwana wabo no mbali nyafu mye mkuchita praise ba HH lero bali kuisaba ba GBM mwamonesa ba
you are walanda wino sana pali lyolyashi uyu ntwani kane sibongire Sibongile, she's an MP because of her GBM. Who is Sibongile? Who knows Sibongile? Who knows Sibongile? Sibongile cannot even contest competition ya maule. She can't. She's nowhere. She's nowhere. Tapali Sibongile. Atawa nakashibaye mini napa. Sareni po mwana kashi. Tamonekera no kumonekera Sibongile. Who knows Sibongile? Who can vote for Sibongile? Who can vote for Sibongile? But because of her GBM, because of PF, Sibongile, she's an MP, and she's selling herself like a bitch to UPND. And the loba she aba mubikire MP, aba mpangire mu MP, baba longa 5 years. Baba longa 5 years. And just because Sibongile is now sleeping with UPND, she thought that something would come away. Now, this is a betrayal. Sibongile, you have betrayed your father who made you an MP. You are nothing politically. Tapali winga kuvote. Tapali efiori. You can't even get 1 vote from yourself.
So, nabonsa cyabama MPs bonse babareshite vera muna kwakiri mbifirife no mwe bareshite bakabashite mpine bonse cyabena rubusha
barabama bakwisoka barya barabama bakwisoka barya barubusha uyu ifipuba fyakona fyaku utumbuke ifi chile chintwani kane
kuma Eastern province ababa kuma yushanya
ala
abasande cyane ndafe kumona bo bushikuba bubuleisa bera muna tibarifika
iyo nkabateka po one day first nkabateka po. Thank you my brother, thank you.
Atote.
Hello, I'll come back for those MPs. I'll come back. Hello.
evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Okay, I just want to make some few submission.
Yes, sir.
All right. First thing first. Zambia is like a animal farm now. Because the president keep on experimenting when it comes to governing issues. Appointment, he makes wrong appointment every time. He boasts about fighting corruption when he knows that he can't do it. Because if there's someone who is corrupt, the president is too corrupt. No wonder they keep on reshuffling, changing people goalposts just to make them continue stealing money. So the issue of GBM is a scam because the president is involved. So I don't want to talk much, but I can rest my case now.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello?
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 Matari Maombe.
Empa Maombe.
Yamka. Kajibim wa 5 years.
5 years mdala. We pray that vala vapera bail pending appeal. I'm sure vakachita appeal, but I'm sure vala vakavashupa kwati vale shupa vena chitotera. Bali they have applied for bail pending their appeals, but vale kanoku vafunya. Go ahead, my brother.
He also
we lost that one. It is really sad. I'll come back for those MPs because a number of MPs, they have gone to sell themselves. They have gone to sell themselves to UPND. But some of you, I'm telling you, you'll be nowhere. You think you can go and be crafted into UPND. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Tayali. How are you?
Fine, thanks. It's always nice to hear a female, youthful voice.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, I would want a praise singer, one of these praise singers, to call and just tell us one thing, one solid thing that HH has done that we should praise him for. Then they should also tell us a couple of things that ECL failed to do that HH has done.
That's a very good
I want
one.
the praise singers, like I'm challenging the praise singers to call in and tell us why we should praise HH. Because I saw this man on TikTok who was saying they are now commissioning what's this? Something. I don't know if it's septic tanks or something.
Oh yes, septic tanks, yes.
Yes, how does a minister, a whole minister, stand up and be proud of that? They are commissioning my toilets, then we should applaud them for that. How is it working in Zambia? So please, praise singers, can you call in and tell us why we should praise HH? And that thing of this guy saying no, ECL and whatever, we don't appreciate HH. Once we've seen to say HH has worked, we're going to praise him. For now, let him dance to the tune. He never considered Lungu to be president. In all his presidents, he failed to acknowledge Lungu as president. I've seen ECL acknowledging to say HH is president, but I've never seen HH acknowledging Lungu from the time that he was ruling. So kindly tell the praise singer to call in and tell us why we should praise HH. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello. Good evening, Mr. Tai.
Good evening.
Yes, I would also want to make a contribution. With regard to what is happening in Zambia, the current government should not be so comfortable destroying opposition. They should learn from other countries, because what happens is that every time a government fights so hard to destroy opposition, the people will rise because they will feel like they have got no voice. There's no one to represent them. Whoever talks, the government steps on them using government machinery. I know UPND is watching. Their days are numbered. Very soon, the clock is ticking. Wakateka na totally sampali.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Tayali, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, me, I just want to find out, like, the behavior of our brothers there in South. Why is it that every time when there is an election, they do misbehave that side? Because this has been bothering me.
How do they misbehave?
Because was it in 2016 something happened there? Some people were perceived to be PFO supporters were beaten, something like that. And just recently in 2021, again the same thing happened there. So why is it that these people are, if they are our brothers, but why is it that they do behave in this manner? Why? So this is why I just want to find out, maybe you can express something on this one. Because when we talk, they accuse us to say, no, we hate them. Listen, no, we don't hate. How can we hate our brethren? We can't. But the behavior, why do they behave in that manner? Please make me understand. And it's very unfortunate what has happened to GPM. Because GPM, he has contributed a lot for UPND. Now I've come to understand that, in life, never help an ungrateful soul. never help. This is what I can say, because this man, he doesn't appreciate what his friend did. We also what GPM did.
Imagine.
To UPND. We also what he did, that man. So I don't know. Try to make me understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, basically, yes, indeed. As much as we talk about, as much as, UPND, you try to defend tribalism, but surely the behavior of the people, particularly in Southern Province, is far much less to be desired in terms of democracy, in terms of objectivity, because really there is you can't exist if you belong to another political party in Southern Province. You can't. Even now you talk about HH has finished Kadarism. You can't be wearing in Southern Province. You can't be wearing a UPN, a PF regalia and move around. You can't. You can't. So, I mean, the point of this man really is something that we need to think about. Hello? 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 You are very faint. I can't hear you completely. You are very faint. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tayali, how are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you, sir?
Mr. Tayali, I'm okay. Mr. Tayali, I think part of your work na ba politician now. Basibongile na bachinjibukisha basande chanda. Basande chandelo bali bakonka ba brother babo. Bali bakonka konka. Bambiri okutasha ba UPND. Oh brother babo. Ishishi bere ifo batontonkanya ba politician. So muntu ngale rumba bagateka ni shipari ofyarefu ayo kupokako. Nabasibongire nabena bari tontonkanya ati ngabalanda tilimbi ba UPND na igomba CDF yabo bawishi bala balekerako. So abantu besukyamenyi sokutala beshibukwati muntu obale dilingana nkwe. He has no interest for them, but his own personal interest. And those who are talking about the corruption, for me, Zambian corruption that they sing about, it's a petty corruption. I've heard about corruption in Angola where somebody has 778 billion kwacha as an individual. Now today here people talk about a single house or 2 flats. Somebody who's been working for his entire life. He has worked in so different spheres of life. Take a what thing and an individual can't have a farm. When they boast that Varikuatama farm Yangombe more about over 300,000 cattle.
Yeah.
So very enough here. Ever pokirendra somewhere, ever got a genuine money. You see, let me say this. I think I have come to love PF. They were not petty. Because if PF were petty, in their community house, that proceeds of crime.
Straight one time.
Nama farms you say the proceeds of crime.
One time.
But see how you see how you mean these guys were. They said, okay, guys, privatization. He benefited. But he's one of us. And they allowed him to run like that. But him, today he's banking money outside. And I'm pretty sure after leaving the government, he will run out of this country. He will run away this man. And they will face the consequences. The same way, anyway,
thank you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
I am
You know, what happened is very hard. Because sometimes the history is very where coming from, we should know where coming from. You see, that corrupt. These are the true genius of corruption. Even that form of corruption arena. They say they are the saints. Who are the saints? It's whom they are stealing from the poor Zambia. Look at the contract, their time contract. Single sorting. No foreign procedure of procurement. What does that? It's a Zambia is a sovereign state. Ama Zambians bashimuke. Otherwise, what's that content?
Indeed. Ama contracts number. It's just mass single sourcing. They don't follow the tender procedures. They don't. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Tayali, Mwabombe.
I'm quiet.
I'm quite Tayali. But Tayali, no mwishiwa. Ipi tulei kalamcharo chesi chaza. Ebo tulikiro. Mewe chintu chimo problem fwe bakwatani fwe bo fwe bavemba.
Hello, Batari, muna ngomba.
Ndeumfwa.
Hello.
Ndeumfwa.
Fube batoba.
Yaputukeyo. I think ni chuma chiranda pa bavemba ko yaputukira. Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, but
Yes, yes, sir.
more Carolines.
Yes, please.
It has been long.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make a statement. Yes, I've been following it for a long time. The thing is, I've been trying to look at if I went or
Are you speaking on loud? Are you on loudspeaker?
Yes, yes.
Please remove on loudspeaker so that we can hear you properly. Just speak normally on direct in the phone. It's better.
Okay. Yes, I was trying to say between HH and Edgar. Of course, if I may take the side of HH and Edgar, I see the on HH side that he has done at least a little bit better. And Lungu also, there are certain things that he has done at least a little bit better. Now, the bad part of Balungu, it was the Makada, the Kadalism, it was too much. And there was no order whatsoever with the police. You remember when Sama, they died, and I can't talk much. Even the Lawrence Banda also, and there's Chibulo there. Those are the things that we wouldn't want to come back. But the rest was just okay.
Okay.
But comparing, or if I'm to mention about the current HH, the thing that I'm seeing is that life is hard. Despite the free education and also employing some civil servants and like. Yes, but things are tough. It's not everyone who has been employed. And as I things are just getting worse. But to my suggestion, I can say my opinion is these two people, I think they shouldn't be there. We need a neutral person. Not by Lungu, not by HH. Better a neutral person, at least, who can understand. Because there's a war now. That's why these people that are failing to govern very well, because they are just concentrating to each other, fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of HH concentrating to the development, is now focusing on Lungu. Even Lungu also was focusing on HH, which is not okay.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so yes, Balungu can come back. Some elements that will condemn you will just regret, will just say, no, because of this, because of that. Like, let me just put an example. You divorce a wife because of certain elements. Then you marry another one.
you discover some certain elements. Then when you bring the first wife, you begin also to notice some elements that she has not changed. Definitely you begin now to condemn more.
No, thank you, my brother. I hear your point.
Thank you so very much.
Hello? Hello?
Atendeka mkwai Chilufya wesu kairi wakateka mutende mkwai awe twa chitumuchi ushechu muropo mkwai tatuishibe fintu mwikere muli mutende mkwai
Yo mkwai ingefenofine bamwene
mkwai tule mwana awe nanipa mweko tanga pa mkonso wako mkolo mkwai yawe chawa mecho chodio pokulande takutira ati mkwai ababiri balakonkana mu mano chine aba bayisiro na bayeche nomba bupsano bwa bapo bwabuti umunabo abakokwati ali kwatamu oluse nomba bali ababa n'omutima wabunka be batata bali ero bala kita okuilango kutinga bayimira ku bantu kwati baba n'abantu lelo baba katalamukira n'abantu umutima wali bifa batata balya necho mumunanga bayimina balandi mashuwa yakuti aya bipa elonga balanda mashuwa yakutukana nokulanda ebintu fyeka abantu tabalanda po yonse bamona kwati bonombe to ningalanda betakwe bati Chilufya wesu inshi kusharinga enyo mwana na nina inshi kusharinga enyo mwana na nina tabakaberere tapabo buteko buberera elo nomba icha kulekeresha cho ninga sosta cha kutira iche chikalamba icho balera nokuti uliwe ichero niwe ichero ajitekere kitako yali kuire abana zambia tabale mkwai bushebe na bayishiwe shana takule mkwai bamuleke kabidi so ifofwewe ni tukamukana kaidi tukamukane tatwaka muvotele nifwe ngabe shiwe shani bengire shani mu mitima yesu kumuleka tiye bamuleke Emiline, ifo fwebe na Zambia fwebe pano ndine mwine nenka mukana na bambia bena Zambia waka mukana okuteke kabaka teka na kabiti democracy mulilanda mwebene mwewa fiso borwele inani inkaka ukuti democracy bakweleke Emiline ono nomba fwebo tukachitenshi tukasale Echo ningalomba ko pefwe na Zambia konse muri nsale konse muri mwe na Zambia mukwayi kuchula ni mule umfwa kuchulo kwa kweva ati ukushatara chitika pokutuwesha kuwere nsikiwa Chilufya wesu kuwesha kunshi kushawere nsikichalo tutwime fye chitinta ngombe nangu benga chitechaka ngachaka icha kurekeresha ba Chilufya na imwe ilili ashira kuti mulelanda kiyo mumwe wa democracy batonga cha kutira ati tafya katwa kwefyo isi utakabwerere na kabili nangu ni kuteko tawakatinje ngacha kutulanda tuona abatonga na imwe koteni uko na imwe nicho tapali chikachitika kui mafia chitinta ngombe ke wechi pofinye cho chini katwa kwafye napera mkwali baba Chilufya wesu bombe nko mkwali
Hello?
Yes, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you better.
All right, thank you. I'm following you very well. I've been following you very closely, and I like the program. You see, but it's so surprising and very shocking that he climbs the mountaintop, bragging every time that he's done this, he's done that. I feel very bad because I'm one of the people who voted for him and was not happy with Edgar Lungu with the way he did things. I was actually even harassed by PF cadres, but it's very disappointing now to see that the man who promised a lot of things, he is going to do this, he's going to do that, but all he does now is bragging. You see, when you've done something, you don't need to climb anywhere to tell the people. Let your work speak for you. He is bragging right now that his mouth. What is that? Simply telling us his mouth is letting at all. His issue, our DPM, is sad, but my take on that is that I think for GBM, I remember very well. I used to read the post report, and I remember Fred Member one time wrote about GBM over this corruption issue. Minister of Defense when he was minister. I still remember, and I think then that no, I think if these issues are real, then at some point they will come out. But it is very sad happening now when the same state was GBM going around the country campaigning. And you are very right when you say that GBM and HH won. GBM was still in UPND. GBM would have been man.
Of course.
So simply put it, his corruption fight is fair. He is only fighting people that are not aligned with him anymore. They are hiding ministers investigating. Why are they? All the people, all the UPN cadres who are sharing land in Monze, too many of them are busy sharing land. Cadres are posting around sharing land to do the papers for themselves. People are doing it. People are busy selling land. God scandals. Why are they not being investigated? But now when it comes to Lungu, I think, for me, I think like the previous caller said, Lungu, for me personally, I won't want to come back because you see, these people who just it's going to come back to fight and Zambia is going to lose out. I think a neutral person, I think for me, better person to come in than before, because we jumped from fire and frying pan. People are being beaten by a now they're being beaten very badly. I think that is.
Thank you, my brother. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Mr. Tayali, I just wanted to speak to this young lady who called earlier and was asking us praise singers to tell her what good things the President HH has done. Yeah, number one, I could tell from the voice of the lady was that she's quite young, so I want to kind of mentor her. She must remember that HH is the first president ever to bring down the biggest opposition political party and give it to his stooges so that democracy just grows. Edgar Lungu never ever did that. The other thing that she must remember that in the history of Zambia and even Edgar Lungu failed to commission any toilet. He's the first one.
To commission it.
I've started the ball rolling. To commission toilets.
Hakainde
and
Hichilema is the first one to commission a toilet.
Yes, the first one. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll remember him for that. We are still thinking.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello? 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 Yeah, interesting. I think let me leave it here for tonight. Thank you very much for following the program. And basically, just let me give this one. This man has been trying. I don't know if it's a man or a lady. Has been trying so hard. So let me give him the chance. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. This country, Zambia, needs God. You know, the current leadership has distanced itself from God too much.
You see?
That's why they are doing things the way they want to do them. They don't have regard for what God is saying. All this maneuvering, everything that is happening about blocking this one from standing, everything about sharing your friend, the friend that spent the same money that you're saying you are jailing him for.
Yeah.
He used it.
On you.
If he stole, that is, if you are saying he stole.
Yes.
He used it
On you.
during your campaigns. And then you take him to jail. You're part of that crime.
Imagine.
The other thing is that this country, Zambia, loves God. The people of this country loves God. Yes, of course, during PF, there was Kadalism. No one is disputing that. Kadalism came a long way. It came from first when there was unity, we had vigilantes. When we came into MMD, we had cadres. The same cadres transitioned and they came to PF. These people have just been moving, but the only cadres that are very unruly and barbaric, I want to be straight, cadres for UPN. Those in PF, if these cadres, they come and follow Edgar Lungu at the courts, the way they used to come in buses, believe me, with those policemen lining up like that, we will see so many deaths.
Yes.
Now, these cadres of PF have distanced themselves from trouble. The cadres for UPND were trouble. They were causing trouble. They liked to cause trouble. And those deaths and the blood of those people that died are on their thumbs, in their hands. Because they caused it. They would come, when they are told don't come, they will come in buses. People will be driven from all provinces, just come and witness a court session. And people were dying. Police, they get excited. Others, they will see like, oh, these people are coming, let's start shooting. Believe me, the police that we saw at the courts, is it this week? If people were to come from all walks of them, they come at the courts, they'll be catastrophic. People will start fighting with the police. And the police will use guns and maybe kill some people. But now, the cadres today are restraining themselves. No, they say we don't go to the courts or they have chased us. Let's not go there and cause problems. But believe me, the cadres we saw in UPND, they used to cause problems. They will come at the courts in buses. They will be driven. They will run along Cairo Road. A number of them causing mayhem. In Edgar Lungu, if Edgar Lungu was very intolerant, we would have seen a lot of people dying carelessly.
No.
But it's because he had the heart. Sometimes he would think, no, let me not do this.
No.
But he was forced sometimes.
Thank you, my brother.
Like the Mongol saga.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Cadres insulting the president.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello? Hello?
Tayali kidala muli kaboti.
Kabotu, mwali byabuti.
Kabotu mudala. Tuyinge yo. Tomwamba ule. Mudala kujayo ndija kunyonganya chokuti mapuba mukula bwenu kwali manje kuti ulaidi wenu batuma ba tribe yomwe yo ino is problem.
Make your point. Make your point.
Kwamba kuti okerese sisi tuli mu Zambia, tonse tuli mu Zambia, but we know that mwano ambajita discuss muri ngambo kwa discuss ndo titanda kutuma ukomprena yani jenga wote most people are complaining about getting about what the not the problem.
Yeah? Hello?
Wow, man.
Hello? The man is frustrated. He's saying, I mean, why are you discussing a tribe? What's your problem? Anyway, let me end here. Really, I have to end here. But basically, I mean, if I could, yeah. Hello? You know, there are some numbers that you see that a person has been trying. So, you know, hello?
Ngabombashani wa president.
I'm Kwama Womben, man.
Nende fa kuti nkuli aba skola sister bachidala ariko tebukisha kuba echechi but connection in the toilet. Necho ndefo kwenda kuchakwa bati vakateke bati bomba sana since independence so babomba akawo umuntu wabo since independence kama president mosokotwa tabena feva sana
Hakainde Hichilema babomba sana ukufuma poto watampira independence
emkwai
okay
nomba ine mkutontonga nyangwandi batayali kwa kwebaso ukubomba chachine nababomba because since independence batayali twamuna kwa abductions atumweni muri buteko
imwe
tatwatara tumuna kwa suicide atule muna since independence batayali tatwatara tumuna kwa accidents atule kwata since independence
abantu baleshikwa mu mamaini
emukwai so ine ekutontoka yakwantu kumba kwene kugale kundo kuko tukesa kwekukisha kuko bachikona mubuteko mbe nani kanilu yaba UPND kwena mwa ifi ekugomba ine kombo ina choko mali efe na chirafu afyo kulanda kuba tayari
na totera mkwai
Jesu.
Anyway, I won't go any further. I won't pick any other call. I'm ending it here. I basically wanted to, if I could sum up, basically, I was talking about the issue of GBM. This issue that you have GBM convicted today was an issue that started in 2013 when GBM was the defense minister. It came as a result of the conflict that existed between GBM and Winter Kavimba. Winter Kavimba accused GBM of giving himself contracts. GBM accused Winter Kavimba of influencing a contract to give Transfigura a contract of $500 million to supply petrol and diesel. At the end of the day, SATA wrote a letter to the Anti-Corruption Commission. Can you investigate these two and give me a report? Anti-Corruption Commission gave back a report to SATA to clear the two, that there was no corruption that was done. Unfortunately, of course, SATA died. GBM went to UPND and he campaigned for Hakainde Hichilema vigorously. He went everywhere in the country to campaign for GBM or for Hakainde Hichilema. He even put in a lot of resources. I can bet that among Zambians, there is GBM is the one who spent more money on UPND unlike anybody else. Among Zambians, I think GBM is number one. And my question is, at that point, if Hakainde Hichilema knew that GBM was corrupt, why did he allow him to join UPND, and not just to make him a senior member, but he made him vice president and ran with him in an election? And I'm asking today, if GBM was still in UPND, Would he be facing these charges? The answer is no. And why no? Because even at that time, people were busy accusing GBM of many things, and Hakainde Hichilema was defending him. But GBM left Hakainde Hichilema, and to me, that was a sin that GBM committed against Hakainde Hichilema. Because soon after that, Hakainde Hichilema has been against GBM. And when he came into power in 2022, GBM was arrested. And today he has been convicted. I don't look at this case as a case of fighting corruption. I look at this case as a case of fixing the opponent. Fixing the opponents just like Stotela, just like Chilangwa, just like JJ Banda, just like Kampiongo, and many others that you can think of. Not forgetting Edgar Lungu. The issue of HH is that whoever stands in his way, whoever opposes him, he must face the wrath. Just like now, because John Sangwa went to court arguing to say, no, Edgar Lungu is not eligible. But the court ruled to say he is eligible. And John Sangwa respected that. And now he's saying that you ruled, stick to your judgment. They want to arrest Judge John Sangwa. They want to arrest Alik Banda, Archbishop Alik Banda, Archbishop Dr. Alik Banda. Anyone who stands in the way of Hakainde Hichilema must face the wrath. We pray that this situation does not go worse than what it is. For now, I say good evening to you. May God bless you, and may God bless Zambia. Good night.